Where is the loser from your school now? One owns his own tattoo shop, doing all right. Another, who was a massive stoner, ended up being really great at selling cars and is quite wealthy. Dude's an aeronautic engineer now. We recently talked online and talked about where we are both now. Bro hit me with the "time flies" quote, genuinely happy for him. There was a kid in our class who would cry every time he was asked to read out loud or say something in front of the class. It was always very painful to watch, and some kids would make fun of him. He also would frequently eat his own boogers when he thought no one was watching. He moved away after sixth grade, 1978, and I never saw him again. I looked him up recently on LinkedIn, and it turns out he got a PhD in computer science from Stanford and made a fortune on patents he got with Silicon Graphics SGI. He didn't reply to my LinkedIn invite. She's a published author of multiple books and crushing it in the explicit romance genre. She used to let me read stuff she wrote in a deeply boring class we were required to take and shared a two-person table in, and it's the only thing that got me through. She was really talented. I'd have never said she was a loser, though. Just a very earnest girl in a larger body whose social development skills hadn't really kicked in yet. But she was smart and sweet and gentle. I asked her to come sit with my friends at lunch a lot, but she'd never come over. Just ate alone every day, scribbling in notebooks. I'm really glad she found her path to happiness and success. Romance books aren't my thing, but I pre-order every one of her books as a show of support. I'm actually really proud of him, and I always knew he had great potential. The typical high school loser with a trench coat he literally got out from a dumpster would be bullied daily. Today, he is a professional special effects artist for costumes and sets. This kid in my high school was by far the smallest and skinniest, hung out with us nerds, before being nerds was cool, but otherwise kept to himself, was very quiet and hid in giant hoodies and generally tried to disappear. After high school, he joined the Army, got ripped, became a drill sergeant, and later a TAC helicopter pilot. Married a gorgeous Hooters girl. She just got her MD. Wish I could have been a loser like that kid. He has an Emmy. He was made fun of by everyone, including me, for being incredibly passionate about photography and film and having the humongous balls it takes to continue putting his stuff out there. He's far and away the most successful person from my class and gets to do what he loves every day. I'm super happy for him. Edit. The Emmy was for his work on a news production. He's not famous. LOL. I think he went into the Army. My mom saw his mom at the grocery store a few years ago, and they talked a little while. Gen Xer here. Seems like most everyone I knew from high school did a complete turnaround as they got older. The losers ended up with good jobs, got homes, and had families. The popular kids ended up out of shape, dropping out of college, divorced, and didn't have any ambitions. I was a loser in high school. Stinky clothes, wore plastic grocery bags on my feet under my shoes when it rained. Sometimes went to school barefoot. Pretty hungry a lot. Slept in a church youth room I had gotten a key for and would sneak in after hours. Some people were cruel to me, but I was pretty naive about it, so it didn't stick, and I don't have any hard feelings about it. There were some really nice people too. I was in a band, but that failed after 9 or 10 years. Failed my marriage after about 5 or 6 years. I pursued a dream of opening up my own music lessons and recording studio, but that failed too after about 8 years. Pretty spectacular failures too. Very humbling. Back to square one style, destitute, stealing food from the grocery store level failure. So these days I've been doing okay. I've worked with special needs kids for the last 10 years. Got my Braille certificate, got a bachelor's degree in elementary education, working on my master's in EdTech right now. Literally doing what most people are doing in their 20s, 20 years too late. Better late than never, I guess. On Reddit right now, it's me. Everyone else from my class went on to get a professional career and family. Meanwhile, I got cancer, had a stroke, my disability payments got wrongfully stopped, and I'm going through an appeal right now. So all my old school friends are living it up in nice houses with their families with hope for the future, while I'm starving, in danger of losing the roof over my head, sick and suffering side effects from my meds, all alone, and with nothing to look forward to. So yeah, I was considered a loser in school because I liked rock music while the other kids liked R&B and Boyzone. Now I'm a loser in real life, as multiple people have delighted in telling me. I don't even join my old school's Facebook page because I'm too embarrassed to let them see how my life has turned out. If by loser, you mean the malnourished, abused, and neglected kid wearing dirty, torn clothes, that was me. I ran away from home and went to my grandparents. I was an outsider at my new school but made friends and graduated with a 3.6 GPA, then joined the military. Now I'm a 61-year-old combat veteran and partially disabled. But life is great now. I have a wonderful, loving girlfriend and 5 cats who genuinely adore us. Life balances out. I was pretty much a loser at school, only had a couple friends, terrible grades, pretty much spent my time fucking around and gaming whilst being socially awkward. For all intents and purposes, that guy is dead now. Moved country to where no one knew me, changed my whole personality, got into uni as a mature student, hit the gym, started taking care of my appearance, made a load of friends, and have a great girlfriend. Even if I accidentally ran into anyone from back then, I doubt they would even recognize me anymore. I'm still firmly an underachiever who's now a courier for a cannabis company and has put on 50 to 60 pounds since joining said company in April. 28-year-old with absolutely no path to follow or forge. I'm a one-trick pony. I can gain significant weight and lose it fairly quickly. I'm decent at endurance sports, running, cycling, but my brain chemicals fuck me eventually and we have to start the cycle all over again. Mom's basement, loner, typical Redditor. I know, but sometimes the tiny voice in the back of my mind tells me we are absolutely better and meant for better, but I can never seem to figure it out. Oops, TMI, whatever. I'm in the mental gutter. That's where I'm at. Shit was so much different just 90 days ago, LOL. I failed school, have a dead-end job, and gonna be homeless in a few months when my roommates move out of state. All I can say is some of the successful kids I went to high school with ended up with horrific drug addictions, so I guess I'm better off than them. Same place he was when we graduated, living with his parents, having his mom take care of nearly everything. He was the younger of 2 kids, and when his older sibling died, his mom never really dealt with the loss in a healthy way and became way overprotective of her baby. I remember at age 12, he briefly joined my soccer club and trained with us for a few weeks. Just when it looked like he might be coming out of his shell a bit, he got a minor injury, and his mom immediately pulled him from the team because she didn't want him playing such a violent and dangerous sport. And I'll repeat, this was a soccer team. Now he's in his mid-30s, working a go-nowhere job, but basically incapable of functioning as an adult. He can't cook because his mom prepares all his meals. He doesn't know how to do laundry or clean anything because his mom does all that. If he needs an appointment for the dentist or the barber, his mom books it for him. He even still lives in the same bedroom he grew up in as a kid. I went to school with this kid who lived with his single dad, dirt poor, greasy hair, socially awkward. I think most people would have classified him as a loser. He's now a multi-millionaire Bitcoin tech guy. I'm so happy for him, and it makes me smile to know he's doing so well. He went to a good university, got 2 degrees, and lives at home with his parents. He is broke and can hardly muster the energy to pull himself out of bed every day. He has no friends and a dwindling support system, and his mental health is dangling by a thread. Dear reader, he is me. I was the loser, had a terrible home life full of all kinds of abuses that no one knew about. Years later, I went to years of therapy to resolve my traumas. I reported my abuser to the police, and now I'm a father to a very funny little girl, and I've been with my beautiful partner for years now. I'm on my 3rd home, and I do well at work. Working on pursuing my dream of being a professional writer, working in film, working in gaming, being a software engineer. Life is really cool now. I feel like I'm a grown version of kid me instead of a walking trauma scab, and young me would be thrilled that I have a nice fiancé and lots of Star Wars and Marvel movies and TV shows. I turned my life around, AMA. The one that most would consider a loser is probably me. I was a loner, listened to metal, played video games. You get the picture. Now I'm a doctor, have an awesome wife, just bought our new apartment, and life's going pretty well, actually. The one that I myself considered our loser was the guy that bullied me. He was very self-conscious, which he masked by putting others down. Nowadays, he has a pretty nondescript position in his father's company after he was let go in the company of a friend of his father's. The only thing I would change is to go back and tell my younger self that your social status in school doesn't matter. I dropped out of high school in the ninth grade and later returned to repeat the year. Unfortunately, I vandalized the school and was expelled from the district, resulting in community service and youth probation. Everyone in the school hated me, and I was known as the bad kid because we destroyed the HVAC system for 6 months. No air conditioning from January until April at least. $80,000 in damage. For my community service, I worked on various IT projects for a community youth organization in a small town. This experience allowed me to advance my career through various companies, eventually securing a job in IT at a different school district. I've come full circle. Drove into a brick wall driving drunk the summer after graduation. Multiple people tried to stop him leaving the party, but I guess no one tried hard enough. Last time I seen him, he was still doing same thing, getting stoned, surfing, living across the street from the beach. Only distinct thing now, he's living upstairs in his deceased parents' home and living off the millions they left him. Nothing has changed, still cruising his rusted-out beach cruiser from place to place, nicer shorts, dudes as chill and humble as always.